I'm Simon Ditchburn. I'm the Managing Director of the Tudor Group of Companies, and you're watching a series of promotional videos for Tudor Court Condominium. There she is behind me. Recapping over the last two parts of this series, we took you up into the construction. I walked you through the main parts of the columns and the concrete pouring and exactly how that structure is held together. Then I took you over the double walls, the cavities. We took you through very important parts, which were the electricity and the earth electrics, which is a killer. It's a serious safety part of any sort of construction. And as you can see, that each time we come down here to do a little bit more filming, that construction is moving on further and further and further. So I'm going to take you back into the building today, but we're going to show you a little bit more of the finishing items of the building, and then eventually the last part of this series will show you the finished item, the finished showroom. So let's go into the building now, and I'll take you through the windows and a lot of the plumbing items that have gone in. I'm sitting in one of the bathrooms now just before we tile it, and it gives me an opportunity to show you our plumbing system before it finally gets covered up. Now traditionally, all of these pipes, certainly back in the UK and Europe, would have been copper. I can remember when I first started out in the building, I had to learn how to solder the joints together. And if there was going to be a water leak, it was almost guaranteed to be at that point of the joint. Well, technology has moved on several years now, and it's mostly PVC that is actually used for the water systems. But there's a difference between the PVC. So it gives me a chance to show you. I think most people by now would have seen the traditional blue PVC. You can buy this in most of the home mart shops around town. And basically it is a glue system. Here is a jointing. You would actually smear the glue right the way around the inside, just press it together, that's it, job done. It's as simple as that. And that glue does actually make a very good water seal. But I think it's important to point out that this blue PVC is not good enough for hot water. Basically, because the pipe is hot all of the time, it actually breaks down the glue on the jointing, and then once again this is the point that it's going to leak. So really only use the blue for cold water. Hot water now comes in with a different system, the green system. Now this is coming in again from Europe, and I think a lot of the manufacturers here in Thailand are also now making this system. The pipe itself is much thicker. It's far more capable of taking the hot water within inside, and the joints themselves don't involve any glue whatsoever. It is a series of razor blades that sit inside with a water seal that's beyond that. The razor blades actually cut into the pipe to solid seal, make that joint, and then the water seal stops any water from coming past. So this pipe can go hot and cold, and you're not going to get any problems of leaking joints. But a nice point about this joint is at a later point, if you want to add in a T or change something on your plumbing, you basically just pull these apart and put a new one on. Nice way of moving forward with technology. And Tudor Court, we've taken all of this latest technology. Now here is a part of the finishing here at Tudor Court Condominium that many people are asking about. What style of swimming pool are we going to have? Well, here I am. I'm sat in the middle of it. This is 240 square meters right in the middle of the garden, and the garden is also 1/3 of the entire project. Now that's rare to find here in Pattaya. A lot of developers are using every square centimetre of their land to develop their actual buildings, and they're not creating much of a garden to follow up with. We've decided to go for 1/3 of the project right the way through to create the gardens, and here we are, the first of the 2 swimming pools that are planned within this project. So as I said, we're sat here within 240 square meters of the swimming pool, and that's divided up into different areas. I'm sat at the moment in what will be the children's area. It's about 30 centimeters of water. We have fountains in the centre of it, spraying up and through over. The kids are going to love it. Moving over, we've got a shallow area, again, just for people to paddle in. Not everybody can swim, you know, you have to think about that. That leads down into a deep area that's 2 meters deep at the bottom, so you could dive or jump into that without having to worry about cracking your head on the bottom. An interesting feature that we've designed is the sunbeds. On the opposite side of the pool to me now, we've built sunbeds that are actually submerged into the water. So when you're lying down, half of your body's going to be in the water and half of you will be exposed out into the sun. At the bottom end of the swimming pool we have the waterfall. I think that's getting pretty traditional now in this style of garden. People like to see those waterfalls. And then next to the bar area, which is directly behind me, you will have stools again submerged into the swimming pool. So you're still sat in the water when you get served your beer and your drink. Nice little features. This has got to be the most talked about subject with any sort of housing project, condo development or hotel. Everybody, especially if they're coming in from Europe, are asking what type of windows and doors are you going to have. There seems to be a thing that if you come from Europe, it's automatic, everything has got to be PVC. It's just something on the tip of their tongues, it's just something that people have come to expect. So here they are. Here we are standing in the first of the showrooms. The paintwork is coming on very nicely. It's coming into the finishing stages. And for the first time, you can actually see the doors and windows fitted. Yes, they are Euro UPVC windows and doors. They've been especially imported from Germany, from probably one of the most famous profile makers in the world. This particular profile has been copied by many other companies, but honestly, if you only buy it from that company direct, it's the only place you're going to find the real thing. And we actually paid an extra 2 million baht just to have specifically this profile. But people do make mistakes. When they're coming over from Europe, they have this idea about PVC windows and also double glazing. You have to understand that the climate in the Asian countries is not the same as the climate in the European countries. Double glazing was specifically invented back home in the European countries because we had problems of condensation, and it was creating those double panes of glass that kept the hot on one side and the cold on the other, totally separated with a vacuum between those two pieces of glass that actually prevented the condensation from coming through. But you have to think about the climate here in Asia. We don't have the same temperatures, we don't have the same climate, and quite honestly, it's not a problem of thinking of condensation over here. That's why most of the time you're only going to find Euro UPVC windows, but with single glazing. But you will notice that the single glazing is tinted. Now the whole idea of the tinting is to physically reflect the sun's rays back out, which stop what they call the greenhouse effect. And it's the greenhouse effect that transfers that heat from the outside through to the inside, heating you up and fighting against your air condition. So as long as your glass is tinted, reflecting that light back out, that is exactly what you need here in Asia. Double glazing is not going to affect you here in Asia with this zone of temperature in the same way that it would do for you back in Europe. So I hope I've cleared that subject a little bit, because it is causing a lot of misunderstanding. But nevertheless, we have fitted the PVC windows right the way through, so hopefully we're catering for exactly what the European people are looking for. And there she is. In all of this series of promotional videos so far, I've taken you right the way through the construction, and I've shown you all the areas that most other developers are not going to take you to. In fact, on average, you're going to walk into a totally completed showroom, you're going to be talking to a salesman, not the builder behind the scenes, and they're probably not going to want to have any sort of conversation about the construction at all. My own personal point of view is I am a builder myself. I've been a builder for the last 26 years, a builder that has eventually become the developer at the top end. So in this series of promotional videos and building of the Tudor Court construction here, from my point of view, it was very important to show people where their money is really going behind the scenes. You see, the biggest part of your money isn't spent on the decoration or the nice kitchen or the nice furniture. It actually goes in all of the items behind the scenes. So by walking you through all of that construction and demonstrating exactly what the Tudor company goes, you know exactly where your money is and where it's been spent. Value for money is really in the construction and not in the finished decoration. Now, having said that, taken you through this construction right the way through up to this point. Every time we film, Tudor Court is moving on that much more, and now for the first time I can actually take you through some of the finished articles. As you can see, most of the decoration is already done here. So I'm going to take you through the next 4 rooms which are at this sort of decoration stage. We're waiting for the tiles to come in, the furniture to be delivered in the next week or so, and then we'll film that again at a later date. But take a look around as a sneak preview exactly what we've got. Now this apartment here is a 2-bedroom apartment. It was designed for families. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 walk-in wardrobe closets. Then you have your great big 2-sided kitchen, your television, your office area or your front room area, however you like, and it also has a double balcony at the front. This is 166 square meters, and we have a price list for this item at the moment of 9.6 million baht. I'll take you into the others and I'll give you a brief description as we go through. This is the balcony of the 2-bedroom unit, and as you can see, it's got a beautiful commanding view straight into the garden and the swimming pool. Coming in now from that double balcony brings you into the main bedroom, which leads you through then to your ensuite bathroom and your walk-in wardrobe. Now here's an example of our 65 square meter apartment. This is the smallest apartment that we do within Tudor Court. Have a look around here. Basically you come in through the entranceway and the hallway. The very first room next to you is your ensuite bathroom. Then move round into the bedroom. The kitchen will be coming into that corner, and then you would lead out onto the balcony where once again you have a view over the swimming pool. Now for some people, even at this stage, showing you around the nearly finished showrooms, it's going to be difficult to imagine what that final room is going to look like. So take a look at this montage of photographs and see the real thing. Right, I'm back in the office now, in the control centre of everything that goes on behind the scenes. Now hopefully with this series of promotional videos here, you've got a real insight now in what the Tudor company can do here in Thailand. When we use our phrase of Thai lifestyle European standard, we really do mean the construction and not just the final decoration. Well, the next part of this series will be able to take you into the finished showroom, the finished article, and show you exactly what we're all about. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.